2 Kings chapter 18. And it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, Hezekiah, son of Ahaz, king of Judah, reigned. He was a son being 25 years old in his taking reign, and 29 years he reigned in Jerusalem. And the name of his mother was Abi, daughter of Zechariah. And he did the upright thing in the eyes of the Lord, according to all as much as David his forefather did. He removed the high places, and broke the monuments, and cut down the sacred groves, and cut up the serpents of brass which Moses made. For unto those days the sons of Israel were burning incense to it. And he called it Nehushtan. In the Lord God of Israel he hoped. There was not one likened to him after him among the kings of Judah, and among the ones taking place before him. And he cleaved to the Lord. He did not leave from behind him, and he guarded his commandments, as many as the Lord gave charge to Moses. And the Lord was with him. In all the things which he did he perceived. And he annulled allegiance to the king of the Assyrians, and did not serve to him. He struck the Philistines unto Gaza, and unto its border, from the tower of the ones guarding, and unto the fortified city. And it came to pass in the 4th year to King Hezekiah, this is the 7th year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, ascended Shalmaneser, king of the Assyrians, against Samaria, and assaulted it. And he overtook it at the end of 3 years. In the 6th year of Hezekiah, this is the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Israel, Samaria was seized. And the king of the Assyrians resettled the Samarian into Assyria, and put them in Halah, and in Habor by the river Gozan, and in the borders of the Medes, because they hearkened not to the voice of the Lord their God, and violated his covenant, all as much as he gave charge to Moses the bondman of the Lord. And they hearkened not, and they did not do. And in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib king of the Assyrians ascended against the fortified cities of Judah, and seized them. And Hezekiah king of Judah sent messengers to the king of the Assyrians to Lachish, saying, I have sinned. Turn from me. Whatever you should place upon me I will bear. And the king of the Assyrians placed a tribute upon Hezekiah king of Judah of 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave all the silver he found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasuries of the house of the king. In that time Hezekiah the king of Judah cut off the doors of the temple of the Lord, and the supports which Hezekiah the king of Judah gilded, and gave them to the king of the Assyrians. And the king of the Assyrians sent Tartan, and Rabsaris, and Rabshakeh from out of Lachish to King Hezekiah, with a heavy force to Jerusalem. And they ascended and came to Jerusalem, and they stood by the aqueduct of the upper pool, which is in the way of the field of the fuller. And they yelled to Hezekiah. And Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, the manager, came to them, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the one taking record. And Rabshakeh said to them, Say indeed to Hezekiah, Thus says the great king, the king of the Assyrians, What is this reliance which you yield on? How then do words of the lips and counsel become the battle array for war? Now then, upon whom are you relying upon, that you annulled allegiance to me? Behold, are you yourself relying upon this fractured rod of reed, upon Egypt? Thus, if a man should stay upon it, it will enter into his hand and puncture it. This is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all the ones relying upon him. And if you should say to me, Upon the Lord our God we rely on, is it not he that Hezekiah removed his high places and his altars, and said to Judah and to Jerusalem, Before this altar you shall do obeisance in Jerusalem? And now, mix in with my master the king of the Assyrians, and I will give to you 2,000 horses, if you shall be able to put for yourself a rider upon them. And how will you turn back the face of one toparch of the least of the bondmen of my master, and hope for yourself upon Egypt for chariots and horsemen? And now, is it without the Lord that we ascended against this place to utterly destroy it? The Lord said to me, Ascend against this land and utterly destroy it. And Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, and Shebna and Joah said to Rabshakeh, Speak indeed to your servants in Syrian, for we hear, and do not speak with us in Jewish to the ears of the people upon the wall. And Rabshakeh said to them, Is it to your master, and to you my master sent me to speak these words? Is it not to the men sitting upon the wall, eating their dung and drinking their urine with you together? And Rabshakeh stood and yelled with a great voice in Jewish, and spoke and said, Hear the words of the king, of the great king of the Assyrians. Thus says the king, Let not Hezekiah lift you, for in no way should he be able to rescue you from out of my hand. And let not Hezekiah raise your hope unto the Lord, saying, In rescuing the Lord will rescue us. And in no way shall this city be delivered into the hand of the king of the Assyrians. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of the Assyrians, Do for me a blessing, and come forth to me, and each shall eat of his grapevine, and each of his fig tree, and each shall drink water of his well, until whenever I should come, and should take you into a land as your land, a land of grain and wine and bread and vineyards, a land of olive oil and honey, and you shall live and not die. And do not listen to Hezekiah, for he deceives you, saying, The Lord shall deliver you. Have by rescuing the gods of the nations rescued each his land from out of the hand of the king of the Assyrians? Where is the God of Hamath and Arphad? Where is the God of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Eva? Did they deliver Samaria from out of my hand? Who among all the gods of the lands is the one who rescued his land from out of my hand, that the Lord shall rescue Jerusalem from out of my hand? And they kept silent, and did not answer him a word, because of the commandment of the king, saying, You shall not answer to him. And Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, the manager, entered, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah, son of Asaph, the one recording, to Hezekiah, tearing their garments, and they announced to him the words of Rabshakeh.